the man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Bully, we're talking
That's
about.
what I said. So
that's-
when they bullied her,
Yeah.
now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They can't
smart.
sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up and dragging on both sides, you cannot you cannot breathe.
Oh,
And
wow.
these women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
ITV, certainly the best.
Broadcasting live on independent television. This is 60 Minutes Nigeria. I am Lawrence Osifo, standing in for your regular host, Egosa Agbolaho. It's a brand new day, a brand new year. So permit me to wish you a happy new year. The first day of the year 2026. A lot has played out in 2025, so much in the policies and the politics, the politicking and the politricking. But it seems like we've entered the heat of the election year, because this is pre-election year. You can call it penultimate year, the year to election. So we're going to see more of the politics, and we're going to see how the politics play. But we're always here to keep you abreast with what is going on. We're always here to keep you abreast with the ongoings, to educate, to inform, and to entertain you. But on the show today, we'll be looking at the U.S. bombing of ISWAP and ISIS camp, or they call it a terrorist camp in Sokoto, or in Nigeria generally. But we'll be unearthing the truth out of what really transpired. How did all of this happen? Was it a collaborative effort, or the U.S. just entered into the Nigerian territory and just did what he wished to do? But I have my guest, the seasoned analyst, who is live with me in the studio, Owen Olowu, who is a lecturer and a public affairs analyst, live with me in the studio. Good afternoon and good to have you.
Good afternoon.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Same to you. Viewers at home, good afternoon. Happy New Year to you all. This new year, obviously, will hopefully be a year of peace and prosperity.
So we
Thank
pray.
you.
So
Yes,
we pray.
yes.
All right. Let's start off the conversation. On the 30th or 31st of October, we saw the statement, not a physical, a verbal statement rather, from the U.S. President Donald Trump. He tweeted on his Truth Social that there's a Christian genocide in Nigeria, that it has called for international attention, that he will be doing what he feels will be good to safeguard Nigeria and Christians in Nigeria. But there were so many conversations around it that it's not only Christians that are being killed, even Muslims are also being killed and all of that. But last week, Thursday, that was on Christmas Day, we saw what transpired in Sokoto State, where the U.S. forces came into Nigeria and in Sokoto, and they unleashed what they did on the ISWAP terrorists and the ISIS terrorists. Let's get it brief first. Do you think the action of the United States was called for?
Well, the activities of terrorists, bandits, whatever
name they
want to
them.
call them, Boko Haram, ISWAP, there are newer versions, newer fashions of them now. Whatever their names are called, they have threatened not just Christians alone in Nigeria, they have threatened the statehood of Nigeria.
Okay.
And these things have been on for ages, and everybody seems to be playing kid gloves with it. But the fact that Christians have been the ones that are the main targets. And if you say, oh, it's not only Christians that are targeted, the question is, who is perpetrating this evil? Who is perpetrating this act? The people perpetrating this act, they are perpetrating it against the Christians more, and maybe a small fashion of the more fashion on their own Islamic people. So this thing has largely been perpetrated by the Islamic, where they call them dissident groups. They say we should not give it a religious coloration, that this group of people, these terrorists, ISWAP, as the case may be, they are extremists. They are not core Muslims. They are not called Islam, because they say Islam is a religion of peace, as the case may be. So they unleash the terror. The target is more on Christians. And on this stage, maybe not on 60 Minutes Nigeria, maybe on This Morning on ITV, I have always asserted, I have always advocated that this terrorist group terrorizing Nigeria, they are not up to what the Nigerian army can actually deal with. Just that what we lacked before now is the willpower to disseminate these people, the willpower and the courage. And that we came here to talk about this subject when there was this call, when Donald Trump released his tweet that they were going to come to Nigeria, and many persons were afraid, thinking, oh, it was going to be an invasion. We were saying, we don't want an invasion, we want an intervention. And of course, a lot of talks have gone behind the door, behind closed doors, and the result of those talks is what we have seen. And nobody will tell me that we are not heaping a sigh of relief, as the case may be. To say that this intervention, to say that it is needed, is an understatement. It is long overdue. And the collaboration with the Nigerian government, or rather, the collaboration between the United States of America and Nigerian government to achieve this. Some person will say, oh, it appears, oh, it's possible that the Nigerian government were not even involved at all. It was only the United States of America. It was a unilateral decision and all that. I told some persons, I said, if this was to be the regime before now, where we saw several things like Ruga, trying to Islamize Nigeria. You were planning Ruga, cattle ranching in different states, other from the cattle business that is supposed to be a private business. You now see that the government wanted to do it as if it's a state business and all that. I was telling people that if this was the regime before now, these strikes wouldn't have been possible. But because I would say that the current government, they just needed this push. Because, there were so many things around it. Some persons were saying, oh, you should negotiate with these terrorists. You should, they call these terrorists, people who are killing people in the thousands, they call them their brothers and their sisters, and they are saying, oh, they should negotiate with them. So what we have just experienced now is just a tip of iceberg. What you just heard of, the Christmas Day bombing, is just a tip of iceberg compared to what has been happening on the ground since that December 24th till now. A lot has been happening on the ground. And you cannot tell me that you are not experiencing some fresh air.
To an extent.
Yes, to an extent. There seems to be some relative peace, relative calm, except the media is underreporting. Except because I've also come here to say that the media is an accomplice to what has been happening. The generous,
you can't indict the media.
I'm just saying that for apparent, because of regulations, regulatory body and all that. So the NDC and all that. So NBC rather. So the media may be underreporting something so that they don't paint Nigeria in bad light. To the world. So that Nigeria, that we had genocide in Nigeria before now, it's an understatement. The killings were becoming so much that even those of us who live in the metropolis, we are no longer feeling safe, to say the least. So, because the day was getting closer, they were closing in on all of us. So that the United States of America, the pontoons of the United States of America, the President of the United States of America heard our cry and came to our rescue and intervened in the situation. They didn't even come into Nigeria. They didn't come. They from the Gulf of Guinea.
Yeah.
They launched that Tucano bomb, and then that can even travel 1,000 kilometers away. The other day I saw the police went to the site of the bombardment, and they were excavating body. You see dismembered bodies. I don't know if you saw that clip.
I did.
Dismember. You know. So that is what saved them. At least they have dismembered. I saw only heads. So they said they will go to heaven, and they will give them 72 virgins. I wonder how they are going to be able to address those 72 virgins. So to say that the intervention is timely, because the Nigerian state, it was a threat to the Nigerian state. It was a threat to Islamize Nigeria. It was a threat to all of us. None of us were safe anymore because they were actually gaining ground. They were taking territories. In fact, in a whole state, I think in Zamfara state or one of the states in the north, they have practically the only region or the only area that was not left in the hands of the government was like the state capital. All the suburbs, all the local governments, even to the extent that the local government chairman has even gone into truce with these terrorists. They are paying them money. Once they get allocation, they give them their court. So to say that this intervention, to be very honest with you, the intervention is very timely, and we want to, whatever the people have been speculating, they say, oh, there's an undertone. The USA, they have what is it called? They have something they want to benefit. They are eyeing this one, they are eyeing this one. For me, I think that is bullshit. There's so much speculation. It's speculation. Like on the issue of, we cannot really give so much details about the military intervention so far, except the ones we are told. When I saw the topic on hating the truth, we can only come here and talk about the things that has been reported. When you talk about military intervention, it's a confidential operation. Highly confidential. They cannot give you the details of what is happening, of what is going to happen, because
their security issues.
Yes, because I think during the time of Goodluck Jonathan actually approached a private security firm to help with the issues of then Boko Haram was just springing up at that time. And when the man later was doing a documentary after that Jonathan's time, there was a time the man was doing the shift that was the white man that was employed, that contracted to help stamp out Boko Haram. He said when they gather intelligence and then they say, okay, they want to launch out, they want to go to the enclaves of these military people, and they want to go and gas them, you know, they want to go and gas them out. Then before you know that when they will get there the following day, they will see that the military people, the militants, the kidnappers, the bandits, the terrorists, they're already wearing nose masks, gas masks.
Wow.
Yes.
To protect
themselves. Meaning information has gotten to them that they're going to use gas to eliminate them. So in cases like this, a lot of secret is involved. And I can tell you for free that since that airstrike of Thursday, a lot has still been going on. In fact, yes, on the ground. And if you pay attention to news from the north, you see that even, I think there was one recently, Amateku intercepted some terrorists, some Boko Haram people that were fleeing from the north and all that. In fact, all the borders around us, those countries bordering us, they have intensified security along the border because these terrorists are fleeing. They are fleeing because they don't really have, because that's Sokoto. Not many of us even knew that anything was happening.
Exactly. That is because
not many of us knew. All our interest was that it is Borno, Zamfara, and Adamawa, Yobe, and all that. And then recently, Taraba, Benue, rather. That was, whereas the headquarters, where their intelligence headquarters, where they plan and then they unleash, they strike, has been in Sokoto all along. But due to military intelligence shared by the United States of America and Nigeria, we were able to bomb those enclaves, and we have had we have heaped some sigh of relief, because from that Thursday till now, I've been paying attention to the news.
You will not heard anything.
We've not heard anything. Even to be very honest with you, Seth, it appears even the kidnapping reduced. The kidnapping in the south that we used to hear, terrorizing communities around. I said these people, it's a network.
That's true.
It's a network. Apparently, they have been able to trigger themselves, and they are on the run. All of them. Because when you see these people that are carrying out this act, they are they look so impoverished. I'm talking about the kidnappers now. And they demand large ransom.
Huge sum of money.
You will be wondering, and so in most cases, even the government sometimes pay money to them. Though the government will come out and deny that they don't pay any money ahead, that they don't release them like that. Especially when they kidnap a large number of people from schools and all that.
Yeah.
When they get this money, the people who are sponsoring them, they are just behind, feeding fat on these ones, the food soldiers. Those people doing the sponsoring, paying the money, those ones cannot come out. They can't come out because they don't have what it takes to come out and do what those guys are doing. I don't know if you also saw this one. I think one of the governors, one bad, the governor of Niger State, Bago, he has been Niger State. He has been denied. He has been fingered as one of the financiers of those guys.
Well, he will always deny it.
What he said now? Well, me, I don't know. He has been fingered. I think the onus is on the government to prove the case beyond with a lot of facts. Because when you're talking about truth has to do with facts
and
evidence, not just saying. And the man is alleging that it is because he has refused to join the APC. That is why they are after him. Trying to
so some political undertones.
Exactly, that's what he's saying. So the onus is on the government because, like many of the Zamfara State governor and even the Borno State governor before now will tell you that they know where these terrorists are.
Yeah, even Gumi
no, leave that one. That one we meet is Waterloo. That one is like the Sheikh Gumi is not the Sheikh Gumi. The Sheikh Gumi, the Islamic cleric that is more like I don't know what to call it, a mediator, an advocate for these people.
He said he meets with the guys. He talks to them.
Yes. So besides Sheikh Gumi, let's leave Sheikh Gumi out of it now. I'm talking about those in government.
Okay.
Before now, they have always told you that they know where these guys are, that they know where they are at any time. See, but the challenge is you now ask yourself. You know where these guys are. Then what is stopping you from going after them? Now, yes, before now I've always tried to.
Okay, I think we'll have to go on a short break. Let's take a short break on the show. We'll continue the conversation shortly. Stay with us. All right, thank you very much for staying with us. Still on the program, 60 Minute Nigeria, broadcasting live on independent television. We've been looking at the U.S. bombing of ISWAP and ISIS terrorists in Nigeria, unearthing the truth. And my first guest, Owen Olowu, who is a lecturer and a public affairs analyst, have laid a brief for us to start up the conversation. But I'm being joined again by someone who is also, knowledgeable in public affairs. He's also a lecturer, not just a lecturer, but a professor, so he understands better. Professor Anthony Ijewere. Good afternoon, Prof. Good to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you.
Yes, Prof.
Apologize for
no issues, bro. No issues. But you're here, so let's delve into the conversation. He has laid a part for us, but let me get to hear your own perspective on the collaboration between the United States and the Nigerian government. They said it was a collaboration in the bombing that happened last week, Thursday. That was on Wednesday on a Christmas day. What would you have? What is your take out of this whole collaboration that happened?
Well, we are aware that over the years, especially from the period of the later General Buhari, there's been a lot of insecurity in the country, prepared by bandits, what do you call it, ISWAP and the rest of them, Boko Haram and so on and so forth. And it appears during his time there was no solution. No solution in the sense that we are aware that 2015, when there was this general presidential election, when Buhari said, I quote, that
if he did not win, he would make Nigeria ungovernable.
Yes, ungovernable.
Yeah, that's a statement.
Yes, and all that and all that. So in view of that, he organized.
But that's an allegation, though. No, let's say it's an alleged organization.
Okay,
allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. That he brought some of these insurgents from neighboring countries, and at the end of the day, just to cut a long story short, when Jonathan threw in the towel and said, let peace reign, and congratulated Buhari for winning the election, even when the counting was still ongoing. you know, and all that. So that to some extent. So at the end of the insurgents, the terrorists now say, Oga, pay us our dues. But now say there's no work to, no job to be done again.
Because at the end of the day,
yes,
I won the election.
I won the election. So there's no job to be done again. So in view of that, they were stranded. And so, and they've already been stationed in various forests.
To unleash their mayhem.
Yes, if Buhari did not win. So, so it's a kind of a survival thing.
Okay.
You know, so they decide to be kidnapping, doing all sorts of things, you know, so that they can survive. So that is the genesis of it. And that is the reason why, in most cases, you know, nothing could happen. You know, government did not take a very draconian measures against them because allegedly they were involved in terms of
financing them.
Yes, in terms of financing them, and that is why it's not just direct financing. Okay. What they normally do is indirect financing.
Okay, when you say indirect, how?
Yes, indirect. You know, when the people capture, when they kidnap Nigerians, you know, and what happened at the end of the day, you know, government will just go into negotiation, you know, and start to negotiate with them. And when you say negotiation, a lot of millions, if not billions of naira. Yes, now it's involved. You know, so it now became a habit, a tradition.
A business.
Yes, a business. You know, and as a result, more groups now started
springing up. Different names,
yes, because
it
was now seen as a lucrative business. You know, and so when Buhari saw that, in the National House of Assembly, some Northerners now say, hey, if you could give amnesty
to the militants in Niger Delta.
Yes, to the militants in Niger Delta. Why can't you give amnesty to this group of people? Because they are also agitators, you know. And they bought the idea and started, gave them rehabilitation, if you like, and started, you know, recruiting them into Nigerian army. You know, and having, you know, so it's like a pig is always a pig. Even when you give the white lace to a pig and say, hey, don't enter the mud again, just respect yourself, I've given you a white lace. The next mud the pig will see is still going to enter.
Because that's the lifestyle of a pig.
Why, so what do I mean by that analogy? Is the fact that members of Boko Haram were already in the Nigerian army. So they were giving information, you know, to their members. And that is why, at the end of the day, our Nigerian soldiers could not do anything. Otherwise, these are people who are not trained. You can't compare them to our army, Nigerian army, that are well trained. You know, they are well trained. And they've served in international
peacekeeping organizations.
And they did very well, excellently well. So why can't they deal with these people with rags who are not well trained and all that? Which means there are people, top government officials behind them. Let me shock you. Recently you heard, this was in the news, it's not being alleged. A senator, you know, compound was filled with about 1,500 machines in his compound. And in the same compound, they had a clinic. And when all these insurgents are injured,
they bring them there.
Yes, they bring them to his compound, they are treated and all that and all that. Will the government say they are not aware of it? What did they do with the information? You know, they would have taken advantage of information and deal with it. What about Shegumi, who were aware anytime the insurgents are in trouble, he comes out, instead of him to criticize, he start looking for a way to encourage them by saying government should leave them. For example, what US did recently in Sokoto, instead of him to applaud it and say, hey, the American people did very well. Rather, he was saying, no, the Americans are enemies. You know, they are not supposed to do such a thing. Rather, government is supposed to call them and dialogue with them. When it's so obvious, in international relations, terrorism, you wipe them out. Okay. You wipe out terrorists. You don't negotiate with terrorists because you are encouraging it. You are encouraging it. And that perhaps explain the reason why government have to collaborate. Because it's like the present government could not handle the situation again.
So they need
there's an in-house there's an in-house thing.
All right, Prof, you know? We have to go on a short break. We'll have to go take a short break now. When we return, we'll continue with the conversation. All right, thank you so much for staying with us still on the program 60 Minute Nigeria, broadcasting live on independent television. So we've been looking at the collaboration, if you want to call it, between the US government and the Nigerian government in bombing of ISWAP and ISIS terrorists in Nigeria, trying to unearth the truth out of what happened last week Wednesday. My guests are still here: Owen Olowu, a lecturer and a public affairs analyst, and Professor Anthony Jewere, also a lecturer and a public affairs analyst. So, Prof, you were making a point before we went on that.
Yes.
Let me allow you to finally land down before I come to
yes. So like I was saying, there's already a scenario on ground.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? So it's like Tinubu, President Tinubu came and inherited liability.
A bigger liability.
Yes, a bigger liability. What do I mean by that? The military have already been polluted. The Nigerian military have already been polluted by the background story I just gave to you. Already been polluted. So there's nothing he can do to solve the problem, because all efforts since he came to power, to solve this problem, insurgency, insecurity in the country, prove abortive. Okay. Because there's internal sabotage.
Inside the military?
Yes, inside the military. All right? And that is why the retired General Musa.
Yeah, Christopher Musa.
Yes, Christopher Musa. Because he saw that this man is a performer, irrespective of the fact that he has retired, he brought him back. Because he wants somebody to do something to stop this insecurity in the country. Okay. And international law, by the grace of God, is allowed.
Yes, sure.
That you can assist a country that having problem with insecurity. Because international law is not looked, the country directly involved is not seen as the only person that is suffering from insecurity.
Yeah,
because
it's a global.
Yeah, it's a global thing. Why? Terrorism is a global thing. Why? Because like Nigeria, they have all sorts of embassies in various countries.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? Embassy from various, including American embassy.
Yes.
Okay. United Nations, they're also there. And still remember what happened some years ago.
When they bombed the UN embassy in Abuja.
Yes, in Abuja. So it's not just Nigeria per se. So that is why President Trump was looking at it from global perspective. Okay. Not just the Nigerian perspective, from global perspective. Because not just Nigeria or American citizens going to affect. Okay. It can affect all of that. You know how these Islamic fundamentalists operate. The moment they see that even a country having a sympathy, the country did not even invade them. The moment you have a sympathy with the so-called oppressors, like US, Britain, and the rest, they attack such a country. Oh. So in view of that, Tinubu was not out of order when he allowed the US to invade, the hideout of these terrorists. Okay. Though some argued that it's not even aware. It's after the whole.
We're going to talk about that.
The whole thing has been done before it was informed.
Okay.
But whatever it is, okay, there's a green light at the end
of the tunnel. All right. Owen, let me come to you. This issue is an issue that has been on the public domain, because the next question will be: do you think this was a collaboration between the US government and the Nigerian government? Because like he said, I also have that question I've had before, because a lot of people are saying the Nigerian government were not even aware that the US government were in Nigeria already to carry out that strike in Sokoto. Do you foresee a collaboration, or they took us unawares?
It's something I tried as much as possible to avoid.
Why did you say so?
To avoid speculation.
Okay.
I tried to avoid hearsay. I like facts. More so, the topic that we are discussing today is about unearthing the truth. And what is truth? Truth is based on facts.
Yeah.
So when you say you heard people say, people can say anything. But regardless, when you see a snake, whichever way you kill the snake,
in as much as the snake
dies, the bottom line is that the snake is dead. So when you hear people speculate because they don't have any facts, they don't have any evidence to say that there was no collaboration between Nigeria and the United States before they bombed Sokoto. Do you know what it means to invade another country's airspace? I also know that the United States has aircraft that can enter an airspace undetected sophisticated SS.
Because they've done that before. When they move
they
one
can
of their
enter
citizens.
and then you will not detect. And also too, like I earlier posited, it's in the news. These Tucano bombs that were launched from the sea, from the Gulf of Guinea, the Atlantic Ocean, as in almost 1,000 kilometers away.
And it dropped.
What they call precision bomb. It hit the target
without missing the target.
It's a GPS signal and everything. It hit the target with very, I don't think there's no error. So what that Tinubu is aware, Tinubu is not aware, it is not for us to say.
Okay.
Now the government of the United States, the office of the president, the Pontus of the president of the United States of America, has come up to say that there was collaboration between them and Nigerian government. So what are we to be saying there was no collaboration?
Okay.
Because when people talk, I just look at them because I don't like to speculate, because something that you cannot substantiate, you should desist from saying it.
True.
So the thing is that the only thing I want to say here is that I want to commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for having the courage, because if this thing had happened under Buhari, I am very sure that Buhari would have blocked it.
Oh, yes.
Because why? Yes, Buhari, because if there was no nod, there was no, this was the push that President Buhari, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu needed. But President Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually meant well to tamper insecurity, because no country can prosper in this with this security. And we were talking about, we were like, why are they interested in our security? Why are they interested in helping us to stamp out insecurity? My brother, Nigeria is a country of over 200 million people.
Yeah.
Which country in the West African coast will have refugee camps that will accommodate 100 million?
100 million, yeah.
If there was crisis, there is war in Nigeria, for instance. So their intervention is very timely, and I want to tell you for free that that was just the right. You will see they've gone out on these terrorists, these ISWAP people, ISIS people, whatever their name is. I don't even want to care. They've gone out on them.
They've been generalized now as a terrorist group.
Yes, terrorist group. Do you know that they are even begging to negotiate now? That they should come, that the government should come and talk. The next the stage we are in now is that these terrorist groups
and now
they are begging government to come to the table so that they can talk now. And it will be foolish. I don't think this government will stoop to that point to come and negotiate. A lot was involved in pre-US intervention in this matter.
True.
A lot. Because if the president go too hard on these people, they can even kill him in Aso Rock. Because many of these people who are sponsoring terrorism, they are even in his government. They are even ministers. They are ministers. People are even speculating that, are you not aware, a moment ago when the current vice president was a senator, a governor in Borno State, that it was in his house, Kabir Sokoto went to hide when they were looking for him. Yes. The man that did that Mandela bombing in 2004, thereabout. Yeah. It was in his house that the man went to hide.
And it was proved.
I don't know. I told you I don't like to speculate.
There were pictures.
I heard though that they said, so what I'm trying to say is that the people who are surrounding the president of this nation, they are sympathizers. And what if I tell you that? What if we see like Sheikh Gumi is playing to the gallery?
Okay.
Sheikh Gumi, what if he's playing to the gallery? What I mean is this: what if Sheikh Gumi just taking sides with these militants, with these terrorists, because he has seen prior to now that the Nigerian government does not have the willpower to exterminate them. Yeah. Many of us can be friends with thieves.
Absolutely.
Because we just
maybe you have something you're gaining out of them,
you say, let me not be friends with the thief. Yeah. You know he's stealing, you don't have the courage to speak truth to this thief, because you yourself, you don't have what it takes to protect yourself from the thief. And the state that's supposed to protect you,
the state
yes,
somehow.
So Sheikh Gumi may just be playing to the gallery. Let me just support these people and gain some relevance in the process and all that. Or Sheikh Gumi again, because of the religious fanatics and extremists, and of course anything that anti-US, You know, he was saying that President Tinubu would have sought help from the United States, from Turkey, Palestine, or Pakistan, and maybe China. I think he mentioned China. He said the US is infidel.
Yeah, probably because he don't love the US.
Not like don't love, because the US is very brutal when it comes to terrorism.
Yeah.
The US does not handle terrorism with kid glove. So President Tinubu has gotten the nod, has gotten the nudge
from
that
the
he needs
power
to kill terrorism. My brother, from now on, we will have peace. I'm just telling you,
just
because see that first bombing, that first bombing, do you know? Like I told you earlier, do you know how many bombings have taken place between that time and now? These terrorists, they are on the run. And of course, all those our neighbors, bordering us, they have intensified security in their border.
Okay.
See, I was even saying a long time ago, why will you catch these terrorists and be announcing to the world that you have captured 60 terrorists and you have killed them, you have captured them, you are going to try them? Try what? It should be shoot at sight, kill them, don't even report that you have killed them.
The military are saying when they want to do shoot at sight, that will come for them not to do that.
Prof, I just told you. Prof has told you, and it's in public
now
notice.
When they are ready to do that,
public notice that the military has been infiltrated by these same people, and they have sponsors. Let me just tell you, I said I don't speculate.
Yeah.
There is speculation out there, which may be true too, that the high-ranking military officers are benefiting from these things.
Yes.
Because there is huge budget that comes for security, purchase of weapons. They are the people who are happy to get, now. They siphon some, they keep some, and then they get weapons and substandard ones, so that it's business for them.
Okay.
But now, it's brutal force. I have said on this studio that these people, I said, these people don't reach us handle.
True.
Nigerian military, sir, is one of the best in Africa. Our ground forces, we have gone to keep peace. Recently said that there was one crisis in which country they did our neighbor here, Benin Republic here.
A military coup.
Benin Republic here. Did we not go there to help them?
To help them.
We are helping people when our own house is not there. So in my brother, let us this is not a trivial matter, and I like us to take it with all the seriousness that it deserves.
All right.
I want to thank the President of the United States of America.
Okay.
And I want to also thank those people who took our cry to them.
Yeah.
This is something like a joke. A lot of
when
cry,
they started the debate,
a lot of pressure. Not even over there. Our people here, Christians here, like I said it on this TV, I said the media before now has been an accomplice to the killings because they underreport it. Because this media is supposed to be the one who are supposed to help us to allow these things. And of course, because the reason is obvious reason why they underreport is because regulations. There are not everything. Let's not paint our country in bad light. Let us manage the issues. With time, we are going to be able to. So to be very honest with you, it gladdens my heart.
Okay.
And like I told you, this is a top military secret. A lot is still going on the ground.
All right.
And if we will not expose, we don't know. Even the very high-ranking military officers that are not in this operation, the operation has a code name.
Yes,
information is not shared like that. As in information on how to hit targets and all that. Intelligence is guided. And our governors before now said they know where these people are. Who are these people? Prof just told you here that these people are not even trained. They are not trained. They're not rich. My brother, if they give me and you gun, if they equip all of us, let me just tell you the truth, sir.
Yeah.
If they equipped all of us, you equip me, give me gun on my street. Everybody gun on my street. Who is that person that will come up to my street and say, want to come and do anything? And the person will go. How? Because they have privilege to with weapons, and you think they have power. Tiny boys, and if you say, keep your gun aside, you will break them.
They can't even face you
one-on-one. They can't even face you one-on-one. Who are these people? So, President Tinubu, to be very honest with you, has gotten the nudge that he needs, the nod. And I think the man is not backing down.
All right.
The man is keen in, and the man is going to follow it because there's nobody in his government now. No, all those northern elites and all that. This has not come to open hair now. It's no longer secret. Nobody will say play down. Before they listen to Shegumi, who is Shegumi?
They do.
So I believe we are going to get solid results from all this.
Okay.
Honestly.
And to pick it up from there,
all right, Prof.
You realize that most of these top military people, you know, like he said, they benefit a lot from insurgency.
Yeah.
And that is why you discovered that they're always coming up with fake reports.
Yeah.
When I say fake report, they say, oh, we have been able to kill 100 and something Boko Haram terrorists. No audio,
no visuals, nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show
so
for
it's
it.
just like a public statement.
Yes, we are now in full control. Okay, then they will go to Tinubu. We are doing very well. Just increase
the budget.
The budget. You know, so that we make more money. You know. Now, why there's speculation, especially when it comes to international conflict resolution, is that anything to do with security, the information is normally not shared.
No, not at all.
It's not shared like that. You know,
it's confidential.
you could still remember when Eric Moore, the Senate man from US, came.
Yeah.
You know,
and
when he landed in Abuja, you know, the chief, the national security advisor,
NSA, know who about
yes, tried to dress him up, dress the whole thing with the dress, presented all the Nigerian bottled water,
the good report,
water and all that. The man was just laughing. They pretended to be stupid.
Of course.
If you watch very well, nobody took one of the bottled water to drink. When the American embassy have more
details about what is happening,
distilled water,
clean water,
it's like, this is not what we came for.
We didn't come to joke here.
So they went to the source. They went to bed with salt graves.
Mass graves.
Yes, mass graves and all that. And I said, the
so
man said,
oh
my God, I'm finished. That he cannot imagine people being eliminated and all that. So he reported, don't forget, Trump gave them a job to do.
Yeah.
So when he went back, he raised alarm and said, this is terrible what my eyes saw, not what this government people are saying. It was a week or plus after that, Trump took his action.
Yes,
which
straight
means
away.
They saw the thing right on the spot. What happened? And directly or indirectly, our President Tinubu was happy.
Yes.
Hey, they don't help me for
they
this
don't
one.
help me for this one. So at least my hands are not tied.
And the man will not rest. He will bomb them.
Yes, so the issue is that America cannot share that security information. Because intelligence report is kind of secretive.
Absolutely.
You don't share it because you don't know where the thing is going to leak to. So that gives birth to all the speculations. Whether
the government was in collaboration
or
was
whether
and
all that. Like you said, the issue is not who is aware and who is not aware.
At the end of the day,
the
aim was met.
Get the job done.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay.
America got the job done. And they are still doing the job.
Okay, Prof. We're pressed for time, but let's begin to wrap up. I would have loved to ask, why Sokoto? Why not Borno, the peak? Why not Yobe? Why not Zamfara? Why Sokoto? But he said something on it before you came on.
Yes, the Americans don't operate like that. Look, let me tell you, it's not like our own case.
Okay.
They do a detailed information, intelligence. That's what they call it.
They say gathering.
They gathered. It was later discovered, like I read, later discovered that the headquarters where they organized.
That was what he said.
Yeah, where they organized for their launch is in Sokoto.
That was what he said.
All the bandits, all the commanders,
you
know, they came in this particular incident.
Wow.
They all came to organize. You know, they were preparing to bomb four states. You know,
simultaneously
Christians
on
Christmas Day.
Yes.
And America got wind of it. So they all concentrated. It's like their job had been made
easier for them.
You know, so that's why they came and finished them.
Wow.
You know, whereas if America had, can you imagine if America had shared that information with the Nigerian army, they would have left that place.
True. They would have left that place. True.
Yes, that's why security information is something very highly secretive.
Okay.
You don't share it. Especially when Americans also know who the Nigerian
government or people are.
Soldiers
are.
You know, there's Boko Haram.
They are inside them.
So they are aware. They do their homework.
Okay.
There's something we call decoy.
Yeah.
Decoy.
Yeah.
Sokoto was a decoy for those terrorists. You see, when they say you can have a thief, an armed robber on the streets, the armed robber will not operate on that street because he doesn't want to drag attention to himself.
Terrain.
Everybody, if you live in the environment where an armed robber stays, you will be safe.
To an extent.
To an extent, because he will not want to do it within. He will be going elsewhere to do what he wants to do. So Sokoto as it were was a decoy.
It was seen to be an innocent place, but it is not innocent.
Nothing happens there. No operation happens there. The attention is Borno and Zamfara, all those places, those forests. Where they just have camps there. Where they get their weapons, their weaponry, and everything. The headquarters is Sokoto.
And why would the government say they're not aware?
It came to us like a surprise. As if, Sokoto?
Why Sokoto? Exactly.
Why not this and why not that? Sir, the government has been aware all along.
Yes.
But the government has been handicapped. It appears the kind of weaponry and the kind of finance these people get is enough to cause a regime change. Enough to cause a regime change. See, Tinubu was particularly at their mercy. Because the people who are surrounding me are practically, you don't know who is who.
We're getting pressed for time because we need to go. But our parting shot in one minute. Prof, your parting shot. What should the government do? Should the collaboration continues or it should end here? One minute before we wrap up.
The collaboration should continue. I personally don't trust in sharing intelligence reports. But I prefer, after America has hit their target in Nigeria, they can tell Tinubu, I think we have
we are done.
we are done.
We've done our job.
We've done our job. Then our Nigerian army can go and do the mop-up exercise. That is those that the remnants of his insurgents that are running away. They can go and start blocking them. Start blocking them. And by the time they do that, the country will be stable. You know why? Because our agricultural products are being affected. In fact, they are the cause of high cost of food insecurity. Our GDP, GNP, they are going up because of the activity of insurgency. So it must be wiped out.
Owen, your parting shot.
Well, to me, I know that we are in for good times. And President Tinubu will not back down as it is. And the United States of America, they don't embark on any course and not get it done to the latter. So the only thing I wish to say here is that I'm not President Tinubu, because there's been call for negotiation with these people. The people, they made video and they're asking for negotiation. I know that we will not grant them that privilege, and they should go all out for them. And you know, when they changed the Minister of Defense recently, we knew that they were ready now. And what made them to even choose that man was because of the pressure from the United States. No, the antecedent of the man that he has done before, and also to the pressure. They now saw that it's not time to be serious, and they chose that man, and we are seeing results. And we know that, of course, we are in for good times. We are going to experience peace in this country.
Thank you very much, Owen Olowu. Thank you for coming. Prof, also, we thank you for joining us on the program. That's the start of our package on the show. Next week, your regular host, Egosa Agbola, definitely will be back on the program. I'm Lawrence Osifo. We'll still continue to wish you a prosperous New Year 2026. Bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking
That's
about
what I said. So
that's-
when they bullied her,
Yeah.
now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise, or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They can't
smart.
sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up and dragging on both sides, you cannot breathe. And these women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
ITV, certainly the best.
Omonoba Nedu Ukwakolopolo, Ewai II, Oba of Benin, stepped out majestically with loud crowd to perform the Soton rite of his late mother, Queen Mother Ioba Omoni Ikoyeme, Ioba Ewai II, who departed this world 49 years ago. Isoton is a traditional rite of the procession in memory of the departed person's spirit in Benin Kingdom. It is usually heralded by public display of the departed person's influence during their sojourn on earth. The display of a human effigy symbolizing the departed royal matriarch was preceded by the Oba of Benin, who led the procession from his palace to the Immortal Shrine at King Square in Benin City, where he offered prayers for the repose of the soul of the Queen Mother, Ioba Ewai II. Thereafter, the priest assigned to the Immortal Shrine offered Oba Ewai II items for Isoton on behalf of his family. However, chalk, known as Uri, represented a mixture from royal fans after ancestral spirits were invoked to bear witness and announce his arrival. On his way home, Oba Ewai paid tributes at various pilgrimage sites, including Queen Idia Tomb, beside Oba Market, where a cheerful crowd of traders abandoned their wares to catch a glimpse of the royal personage and join in the celebration.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Hello viewers, welcome to Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji, and it is that program that gives you and I opportunity to talk about some of the trending issues in the country and how it affects us as citizens. So today we're going to be talking about the withdrawal of police personnel from very important personalities in the country and how it's going to be affecting us as individuals, or better still, how it's going to impact us as citizens. And then again, the debates on legalizing gun ownership. So let's go talk to some persons and hear what they have to say in regards to this topic. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji.
The Nigeria security architecture, I think it is a very, very wrong approach at this time. The way you talk about developed countries and thinking of how police operate, the environments are not the same. First, we do not have good roads. That when you call for police in an emergency response, if it's like in the developed countries, you see police appearing within minutes. You hear of cases of assassinations in places like America. It's only a matter of days they will find the killers of those people. Those are not the situations in Nigeria. People kidnap people in their houses, people kill people on the way, they don't even know who the killers are. The only thing too that also makes some of these people not to be on the road is the simple reason that when they know that there are escorts following some VIPs and some people on the way, they know that it's possible that at some point they will see unexpected police presence. But when they now get to the point where they now say, no, they cannot go with police and then the road is free and all that, you are only inviting terror back to us. If I'm traveling on the way and I know I'm licensed to have a gun in my car, some other persons are coming, and maybe we run into hoodlums, and they know that out of these 20 cars, there's a likelihood that 15 to 16 have arms in them. That will also create that sense of security for the people that are involved. So I just think that it is, yes, the idea to say let's have police at different points is there, but the architecture and infrastructure to support such an idea, we don't have it yet. You don't have drones flying everywhere. If you are overseas, you press a button in your house, they know it is emergency. The police will come, condone of your area, and the people cannot even escape. The police right now, as they are, first, they are not vehicles, they are not well equipped. So how do you even do it? I think that the decision by Mr. President needs to be reviewed.
I see it as a right development based on this issue that the president has made concerning police should be withdrawn from notable personalities that are in our society. You discover that for the police to be able to combat insecurity, we have less police in the society. Most of all these notable personality, you just discover that one person will be having 10 police. 10 police. If one particular person is having a police, about 10 attached to him, and the common man has no security to be attached to him, he has no security to be attached to him, then what is the fate of the masses? But to my own take, with this direction, this step that the president has taken, that all police official, army, and the officials should be withdrawn from notable personality is a welcome development, so that these officers will be able to go to the city, go to the street, go to the rural area to be able to combat these bandits. Because if all this caliber of men, notable personality, are be giving policemen policemen are attached to them, it will not be a wake-up development. But if they withdraw them, everyone, all hands will not be on deck to fight insurgency, to fight bandits. But when these men are secured, they will feel less concerned about the masses. I believe that with this step that the president has taken is a very good step, so that security for lives and property concerning the common man will be appreciated. On these aspects, it has advantage and it also have disadvantage. It is good for people to have self-defense against this insecurity. But the other way around, when every man is given that license to get a gun or harm himself against attack, sometimes most people will not use it for self-protection, but rather they will begin to use it for destructive activities, like going into using it to embark on armed robbery and different. If somebody offends somebody, he can just bring out his gun and do killing. That is why it will not be encouraged. But the only advantage for the government is that let them employ more hands. Let them get more securities, people, recruit them, train them, tell them what to do, the rules and the dons that will govern their security apparatus. All these things should be put in place. Then with more and being employed and well paid, I believe that with all this, they can be able to contain this insurgency and bandits in our country.
We all know that the constitutional role of the police is the protection of lives and property. And like the president has rightly stated, the protection of lives of Nigerians are very paramount. And like the VIPs are still part of the citizens that the police is constitutionally empowered to protect. But you also realize from where the president is coming from, these VIPs form more or less like less than 10% of the larger population of Nigerians. And in that light, he feels that more attention should be given to the masses, to the larger population of Nigeria who are now faced with the challenges of insecurity, while also trying to address the manpower need of the Nigerian police. So in that regard, I totally support that directives that all available manpower now should be channeled towards the protection of the majority of Nigerians outside the VIPs that took a chunk of that number. Looking at on the rights of Nigerians to own guns, I still believe that Nigeria is not yet ripe enough for such. Even in countries where they have such policies, they are trying to go back. If you see what's going on in America now, they are even trying to look at gun rights laws to see how it can be reviewed. So it's not a policy that has worked or that has been sustained in even where it is currently in force. So for Nigeria, it is not just our only gun that will solve the problem of insecurity. I can tell you, with the kind of anger, with the kind of issues we have now, if Nigerians own guns, they will be using it to settle personal scores, not even the insecurities now. So that might not really solve the problem. I think solving the problem, we need to go into community policing, volunteer security,
seeing how well we can domesticate security, make security the duty of everybody, not necessarily a centralized arm of government like you have the centralized police now. So with that, I believe we can substantially bring down, if not to a barest minimum, the current challenges we have now. So it's not really whether we carry guns or not that would solve it, no.
It is a very good thing that the president is actually looking at how he can, curb security by having a lot of, security personnel on ground. But, if you have to fight insecurity by creating another level of insecurity, that's a very big problem, all right? Yes, we know that the VIPs have a lot of this, security escort with them. But if you look at this person too, they are human beings. And, somebody who has that kind of, level of position requires some level of security, around him. So for me, I will not, totally say that it is okay to withdraw all the, security personnel from the VIP. No, I do not think that's the best way to go. Instead, I think they should look for a way to have more persons in the force, in the military, in the police, and every other security agencies that can help, in this insecurity. Because the VIP are human beings. The right to own a gun, I really do not think that Nigeria is matured for such a thing. Yes, we have that in some developed countries like America, but I do not, advise that such law should be put here in Nigeria, because a lot of persons are going to take advantage of this particular, situation, and they use it to do other very, very, malicious activities. So I do not believe that Nigeria is ripe for, self-ownership of gun at this particular point in time.
Insecurity in Nigeria has eaten so deep into the life and well-being of Nigerians. Like in the area of business, it has affected us a lot. Like, for example, those our mothers who travel to village markets in this season of December, where they travel to buy plantain, yams, and others. We see many of them were unable to do this because of the insecurity. And that has also affected their own family, because they will not be able to provide for them because they were unable to do their business the way it ought to be. Like those of us in the real estate sectors, I think it affected us the more, because this is one of the most funny December I've ever experienced, whereby our brothers and sisters in diaspora, they are scared to return home to celebrate with us. And after they have saved this money, and they buy property at the end of the year, so that at least they will not count on one thing that they have achieved. But this time, many of them, they give up. Instead of coming to Edo State or or Nigeria to buy property, you will hear them saying that they want to go to places like Singapore, places like Spain. They will tell you the money they will use to buy property in Abuja, like maybe 350 million, 150 million, 200 million, is enough for them to get property in Spain. And that property in Spain will give them high return of investment than the property in Nigeria. And another thing that affected those in diaspora and the VIPs, let me use that word, very important personalities in our country, is the new law that has been passed by the president, that police personnel should be withdrawn from this set of persons. And the current situation of insecurity in Nigeria, so these persons, they will not be free to come in, because it's as if them coming in, they have signed their death sentence because the security is a threat to them. And at the same time, the police personnel that would have been of assistance to them to guide them is being withdrawn. So it's just as if they want to jump into a hot fry pan. So these ones is what stopped them from not coming to Nigeria, and it affected our business a lot. So those persons we are all to care for, these things restrict us to do a lot for our loved ones. Because if you don't sell property to get money, so there's no way you are going to spend money. So if you check, though we are having traffic and all these around, but the truth is that the well-being, the lifestyle of these our citizens is being compromised because insecurity has cost them a lot. If the guns is being legalized to every citizen, it's going to cause more havoc at this initial stage. So I believe instead of legalizing gun to individuals, let's recruit more local security personnel that understand this terrain of this environment, because a stranger will not know my community more than me. So if they empower these personnel, give them good sophisticated weapon that they can use to withstand these perpetrators, the criminals, it will be able to at least help us a lot. So owning a gun or legalizing gun to Nigerians, Africans, there's a way we think. Even some of the trained policemen that they are handling weapons, we see what happens after some of them have taken what they are not supposed to take. After when their adrenaline get high, when they are angry, we see how they misuse the gun. So now legalizing gun for a trained person, a civilian, is going to cause more havoc and disaster to us. So I'm not in support of that.
While the opinions of our respondent varies, and some think that the statement by the president to withdraw police personnel from VIPs in the country in order to combat crime, some are also saying that it is not a welcome development. But in all of this, the security of citizens and properties should be a priority. That is what people are clamoring for, and it is something that should be done in order for lives and property of citizens to be secured and for security to be guaranteed. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji. Many thanks for watching.
ITV, certainly the best.
Ojúde aṣáájú ẹ̀ abẹ́rẹ́ tó pẹ́ ẹ̀. Àyàbá aṣáájú ẹ̀ abẹ́rẹ́ tó pẹ́ ẹ̀. Àdàyè aṣáájú ẹ̀ abẹ́rẹ́ tó pẹ́ ẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ̀túwà.
The Ekoko masquerades from Ute village, whose cult is connected with Obaeware and his mother, Elere, appear on this occasion to bless the Oba. Ekoko is a ritual masquerade that dances to please the guests and the Oba.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
All right, guys, it's another lovely Monday evening, and it's my pleasure to have you join me on yet another beautiful episode of the Guys Hangout Show on independent television, reaching you live from that city of bronze. You know, I love to call it that city where the king is truly king. Now, for starters, the Guys Hangout Show is one show that, teaches men to prioritize themselves and, of course, to be the best that they can be, just so that they can give the best that they can give. It airs on this station every Monday. All right, my name is Harry Aigboje, and of course, it's my pleasure to have you join us on this episode of the show. Now, today, we're going to be taking a look at a very, very important topic, something that actually caught my attention of recent. Okay, sometimes you're just going about your daily activities, and then you just, for a second, certain things just cross your mind, and you begin to ask yourself, what has actually changed? What has gone wrong? How come things are no longer the way they used to be? And one of such things is the growing lack of parental discipline in our society as we have it today. What exactly went wrong? Whether you like it or not, you must have noticed that things are no longer the way they used to be, especially between parents and their kids. Those days when we were growing up, some of us had this reverence for our parents, right? Even in their absence. There were things we're not bold enough to do, we're not courageous enough to do, even in their absence, because of the kind of discipline that they gave us, right? So, for instance, I remember as a kid, I used to live within my boundaries as a child, right? I was not allowed to go to the next compound. Now, that was how I was raised. Not because my parents didn't like us being free, but they just wanted to ensure that we lived within the boundaries that they set for us. Now, I'm sure a lot of you out there can also relate. Now, if you take a look at the parents of today, it doesn't seem to be like that anymore, right? A lot of parents seem to be more flexible in raising their children. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? My name is Harry Aigboje once again, and it's my pleasure to have you join us on this episode of the show. Now, like you already know, I'm not alone. I've got an amazing person in the house with me, and together we're going to be taking a look at this topic. Now, he is an educationist and also, a social analyst. He's really passionate about lots of things that are happening around us, and he loves to share his wealth of wisdom and experience on such matters. It's good to have you, Abu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harry. And as usual, it is good to be on the show today again. It is always a pleasure talking about issues that concerns us in society, especially issues like this, where if we keep quiet, things will get deteriorated and it will get out of hand.
True.
So, bad things try because good men decide to keep quiet.
Absolutely.
So we must say something.
Definitely, we must say something, and that's basically why we're here. I mean, we really can't help not to say something, all right? Now, we're going to be taking a look at this issue as we begin to look at it one after the other, right?
Okay.
Let's look at it from this angle. Parenting is serious business, right? And I don't think a lot of parents realize that, a lot of parents of this generation, because there seems to be this trend of people just giving birth without recourse to the responsibility of taking care of those children. So let's start from there. Why would anybody want to, start having kids without, considering what it will take and what it will cost
you know, to take care of those children?
Yeah, procreation is one biological gift that God and nature has given to humans. So anybody can, any adult who has gotten to a certain stage can procreate, except he or she has a medical condition. But procreation is not a yardstick to be called a parent. So we have so many fathers and mothers who are not parents. Being a parent means you are ready for the job after birth. Birthing a child is your God-given talent or God-given gift.
Your natural ability.
That natural ability. But the idea of training this child, parenting, is a full-time job. I say full-time job because it's one thing that people just overlook, and because of that they think because they are fathers they could be called parents. No. We have so many fathers but few parents. So it's because of these few parents that we have in society that you see there is a growing lack of discipline in terms of parenting and all that. So I think the few parents that we have, if you see their children outside, you can distinguish them from those that have fathers and just mothers. So I think we should be seeing this thing from the idea of who are parents, to be precise.
Okay.
A parent is that person who is a father or a mother and has indulged herself into the act of bringing up this child. You know, children, the mind of a child is like a tabula rasa. Whatever you imprint on that mind is what goes a long way to determine what the child will become in life or how the child will behave and all that. But we really have people imprinting these things on the mind of the child. That is the question.
I think that's $1 million question, because this is one question I believe a lot of parents do not ask themselves before they begin to procreate. Like you've rightly established, there's a clear difference between procreation
there is.
And parenting. And I think that's what we need to begin to establish. What exactly is it with parents of nowadays? You know, just like I said in opening, you know, when we were growing up, it was a different ball game, right?
Yeah.
We were raised with a very high level of discipline. So much so that parents of this generation will probably see that as you being too hard on your child.
Okay.
Now, what's the place of discipline in parenting? Let's begin.
Yeah, there are different factors that I think I will tie to this lack of parental discipline. Number one, the infiltration of Western culture into our traditional belief and norms. Secondly, we also have this idea of laziness on the part of some people who call themselves, I use the word who call themselves parents, laziness on their part. And thirdly, there is this idea of the growing new normal, where people advocate that children should be treated with, like adults, they should be treated with kids and gloves and all that, so that you not hurt them, and so after all they are human beings. But let me start with this infiltration of Western culture into our traditional culture. Now you see, the white men asked us at the time to marry a fellow man, a woman marry a fellow woman. Many of us did not dispute it. Some African countries are already doing that. They also asked us to wear the suit, the sleeve, the waistcoat, the tie and all that, despite our hot weather. Many of us did not also dispute that fact. And we are doing it. But very recently, they are also asking us to treat a child as an adult. And so many parents have started, many fathers and mothers have started treating their children as adults. That's the problem. They want to train them in the Western way. They want their children to see themselves as adults. They are rushing them through that childhood. They don't want them to enjoy that childhood. They don't want them to see themselves as children. That state of innocence is no longer there. A child that just here, you call that child that you want to reason with the child like an adult. What's his reasoning
capacity in the first place?
My brother, what is the rationale behind you sitting a child down to say, let's discuss? You are just 4 now. And who told you that a 4 years old is thinking like an adult already? It's not. I know many will say this is a computer age and jet. Leave that computer age and jet. Children are children. And most of how were we brought up? We were told that if you misbehave, I will flog you. I have so many parents in my area. My father was not just my father. Yes, he was my biological father, but I have so many fathers. Before my father even come back from his workplace, someone else have disciplined you if you misbehave and all that. Do we still have such in our society? No. You see, everybody wants to say my family.
So you're saying that in those days there was a communal mindset?
A communal mindset. All parents were parents, and all children were children to all parents. Now, these days, you see families saying, you don't touch my child, I know how to discipline my child, you leave this child for me to discipline and all that. So that's why we're getting children are going haywire. Some of them are even going gaga. You know, some of the hairstyle that a 10-year, 11-year-old will put on, you begin to wonder, is this one coming from a home? You see some young girls out there, 11, 10, some of the things they will wear, like, Does this one even have fathers and mothers at home? So the issue now is we are drinking too much from this cup of Western wine. Civilization. I think we should come back home. We should come back to this African tradition. We are Africans. And in Africa, there is discipline intrinsically buried in our totemic mindset. It is in our subconscious. That discipline should be resurrected. That parents should see themselves as not just parents, but as role models, as disciplinarians. Correct these children when need be. Don't reason with a child. It gets to a certain stage, you reason with him, not at this stage. It is some of those things that you imprint on him when he was still a child that will model him into a very good adult. A good child definitely will become a good adult.
Absolutely.
Now, when you lead them, you think they can think of themselves. What you fail to tell them, their friends out there will tell them. And that is what we should avoid. So that idea of Western culture, I think we should come back home. Beside that, sir, this idea of laziness on the part of parents. They think now that you already have a child. So if you can provide for this child, you are performing the work of a parent already. The provision we are talking about here is not just finance. Many of them thought it's just finance. He's attending a very good school, I can provide. If he wants to buy anything, I can give him more. No. Emotionally, psychologically, this child needs you. Morally, you should be there for him. Who are his friends? Do you even know his friends? What are his routine? How does this child carry out his daily activity? You should be your child's best friend. You should have a roundtable talk most times with him. You should be able to tell him, if you try that, I will flog a lot of you and he will not try it. Don't let him see himself like an adult already. You hardly even see children these days bathing outside. And someone said it's civilization. I think they know too much.
Okay.
Their parents make them know too much.
So why did I say so? They've gone past the phase of innocence.
You see that state of innocence? It has been killed. Every child now, the parents have been able to inculcate in them that they are no longer children, but they are now what? Adults. And there is no way a child can behave like an adult. He will be an adult in a wrong form. So let these children grow. Okay. Correct them. Discipline them. Be a disciplinarian. Right. You don't rub men with a child of 5.
Okay. Now, you've actually said a lot. Now, talking about the infiltration of Western culture, just recently I saw a video on Facebook of this American comedian, veteran comedian, Steve Harvey, he was actually interviewing a kid, a 5-6-year-old girl. So he was asking her why she liked her brother, why she loved her brother. And she was saying, well, she loves her brother because, her big brother, of course, because he's always there to protect her and to comfort her when, her parents whooped her. And then, of course, the crowd, reacted in laughter and all of that. Now, I went through the comments as usual, and I saw a lot of persons asking questions, and a lot of people, complaining that it was totally out of place for the parents to, whoop her or to discipline her. And, of course, it became a debate as usual. Now, that pretty much reminds me of something. The fact that this is also becoming a major issue in this part of the world, whether or not to discipline a child. Because some people see the use of corporal punishment as a sign of hatred for the child. That how can you, use corporal punishment for a child that you love? So they see it as, you doing too much. They believe you shouldn't use corporal punishment on your child, that there are other ways. Just like you said, some of them believe you can reason with your child. But how do you reason with a child whose mind is not even matured enough to, look at things from that perspective? I think what we have is actually a problem, because people want to mistake smartness, intellectual exposure to maturity.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem. I would like you to speak in that regard.
You see, words get their meaning from their context.
Okay.
What they call maltreatment in a particular context, in another context might be called discipline.
Discipline.
So when that people say you are hitting that child too hard, you're beating this child and all that. But I think in the right context, when it comes to my child or any other child, child around me, you should use that right word, discipline. We were once children, sir. They did not kill us.
Of course not.
We are what we are today because of how our parents decided to straighten our life. At least our parents are not beasts. They know what they are doing. You don't expect a mother who gave birth to a child to kill that child with her own ends. except she's maniacally derailed and all that.
Yeah.
When children are being disciplined with love, you can discipline a child with love. There is no need you bringing in ideas of you are abusing the child rights and all that. He is a child, for God's sake. The reason why you are saying I am abusing his right because you want to protect that child. The reason why I even discipline that child is to protect the child also. Now, this is what the government are fighting against, is that you should not abuse, assault a child. Discipline will get to an extent, becomes an assault.
So that's where we need to draw the line now. At what point does discipline become an assault?
When you begin to inflict serious pains,
bodily harm
on this child, it is not an assault.
Okay.
When you are not correcting the child with love, it becomes an assault. When you are doing it with hatred, it becomes an assault. When you forget the fact that this person is still a child, it becomes an assault. But when you are doing it in the circumstances of these things I'm saying, like he's a child, I want to correct him with love, he's my child, and all that, that is discipline. And we should not rule out discipline because some persons are misusing it. I know I am not in line with so many parents or guardians who have decided to inflate pains on children because you want them to listen. No, that is beyond discipline.
Okay.
That is now an assault. That is now an hatred. That is now a corporal punishment. And if I ask my child to kneel down there, for example, or get a cane and give my child 2 or 3 strokes of the cane for doing something wrong, next time he will not try it. But if you now give a punishment that is more than that child to that child, then it becomes an assault.
An assault, okay.
You're asking a child, for example, you get pepper, rub on the child's body, or give the person some scars, marks, and all that. No, that is wicked and that is evil. But you're asking the child to kneel down there, or get a cane, flog this child 5 times or more, as the case may be, and after all this, call the child, next time, don't try it. I am your father, I love you, and that's why I'm doing this. I hope you will not try it next time. Such a child will not try it. But you're not letting the child know the reason why you have flogged him or disciplined him and all that. It is hatred.
Hatred.
So we should draw the line between discipline and hatred. So I am not advocating for that idea of that battering, that corporal punishment.
Yeah.
I am saying we should not rule out the fact that these children are still children. And children have a mindset that is as clean as a tabula rasa. So we have to imprint something that they will take up into becoming a very good adult.
I guess that's why the Holy Book says that you should train up your child in the way he should go, that when he is old, he will not depart from it. All right, guys, it's still the Guys Hangout Show on Independent Television. Just in case you're just joining us, we're talking about the decline in discipline, parental discipline. What has gone wrong? What exactly is the problem? Why is it that, kids are no longer as disciplined as before? Why is it that kids nowadays can just do whatever they want without, their parents or a parental figure, putting them in check? Now, Abu, just a moment ago, you were talking about the difference between correcting in love and correcting, in hatred, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's no longer uncommon to see children just walking past an adult without greeting. And that was actually one of the things that we were taught as, children. And that was exactly one of those values that we grew up with, which is why we cannot see someone who's older than us now
and not greet.
Don't you think that's also a function of this lack of discipline?
The dysfunctionality of the society, that's one of the factor, one of the things we got from the dysfunctionality in the society. Why did I say so? I just told you not quite long that all parents were parents to all children. An elder can call you back and say, so you don't know how to greet. Where are you from? You say, I'm sorry, sir. Good morning, sir. Or in my dialect, you greet according to your family lineage, and you must do that. That's how we grow up. But these days, many parents have restricted themselves from doing that. Before someone else will come somewhere and say, don't talk to my child, it's my child, I know how to train my child and all that. So that communal nature is no longer there. And you can see, that is just a microcosm of the larger one. You could see, apart from this idea of greeting, you could see children, they hardly even get up from the seat for an elder to sit, if that's realistic.
That's another dimension to it.
Now, you see some of them, they are very disrespectful. They have begun to euphemize what we call disrespect. You see some of them will say savage reply. what you might want to call obscenity,
I think that's one of the effects of
stupidity, social media.
Yeah.
You see some of them will say, there's a new one now, we listen, we don't judge.
That's not even good.
They are indirectly promoting children to go haywire.
Go wild.
They are promoting this idea of you can always do whatever you want to do. And they are promoting immorality.
And the question we should even be asking is, what do we call judge in this context? Judging is discipline.
Discipline.
We're talking
it is
about
a discipline they want to eradicate.
When a child does something wrong, you're supposed to discipline that child.
So you say
but to children of this generation,
you listen, you don't judge. I will judge, you say, you listen, you don't judge. Besides that, sir, you see, when these children were growing up, they were given this orientation that I am your father, I am your mother, I am the only person, I should be the only person that has the moral right to discipline you. And that's bad. Let these children know that all parents in this vicinity are your parents.
Even adults.
Even adults.
Not
they
necessarily
have the right
parents.
to discipline you in my absence. When I was growing up, something happened. I went home to tell my father that a teacher has flogged me in school. He said, okay, the next morning we'll go. He followed me to school. And when we got there, he took the cane himself and flogged me again right in front of the teacher. These were adults in unity. Adults having a meeting over me that I don't even know about. Their primary aim then was, this child must not go wayward. Now that I am an adult, I used to think like, okay, could it be the reason why my dad have to flog me again? You know, that sends a message. The message was, you are safe in his hands and don't misbehave because I'm your father. I will flog you again. But these days, we've seen parents that will follow their children to school and start constituting nuisance. Some of them will not even ask. You'll be telling your child right from the home that your teacher will die today. You are giving that child an impression that he or she can disrespect
an elder and
get away with it. I'm your mother, I will always fight for you. You are creating a small problem that will blossom into a bigger one in society tomorrow. A child you couldn't discipline today will end up in prison. And they'll start crying. Discipline your child. Teach these children societal value. The values, one of the values I will hold tenaciously to in Africa is respect. They should be respectful. Leave this idea of we are in a civilized world, this is a computer age. And in America, you don't touch a child like that, they'll call the police on. Trust Nigeria police. Okay. They'll be very quick to tell you, no, it's not like that. You must respect your parents and all that. So that is one of the factors. Okay. Though there are other factors. There are factors that we have this single motherhood and fatherhood. Yeah. It's also a contributing factor.
Broken homes.
A broken home. Now, if a child is coming from a broken home, that parental care, love will not be there. Of course, it's not easy for one person to train up a child.
Okay.
You need a father figure, you need a mother figure, and this person is not there. Definitely, it affects the child's psychology, and that will metamorphose into an adult that will be antisocial,
okay,
or that will be maladjusted in society.
All right.
So that is another angle.
Okay, once again, it's the Guys Hangout Show, and tonight we're taking a look at the issue of the lack of parental discipline. What has gone wrong? What is the difference between the way it used to be and the way it is now? Now, Abu, in closing, I just wanted to give a word of advice to parents out there who are not living up to expectation in terms of disciplining their child. Those who think, letting their child get away with everything they do is a sign of love. What's your advice for them? In less than,
They shouldn't be just a father or a mother.
Okay.
They should be parents. And parenting is not an easy job.
Okay.
If you are capable of giving birth to a child, you should be able to parent, take good care of that child. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to discipline your child.
Don't be scared to discipline your child. I guess that's the parting word for tonight. I want to say a big thank you to you, Abu, for taking out
thank you, my brother.
Time to be with us on the show today. And of course, to every one of you out there who have created time to be with us. I hope you've taken something away from tonight's discourse. Of course, the most important thing to take away from this is parenting is serious business. All right. So the moment you decide to become a parent, just have it in mind that the future of that child lies in your hands. If that child is going to grow up to become a responsible person, it's totally up to you. And of course, it's up to the adults that child is surrounded by. So another thing that Abu said in the course of his analysis is that parenting doesn't just end with you as a parent. You should also give the adults around your child the responsibility of raising your child, just like it was in the olden days. Don't have this mindset that you are the only one who has the responsibility of taking care of that child. My name is Harry Aigboje, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, do ensure you do the right thing and stay out of trouble. Do have yourself a lovely night rest.
ITV, certainly the best.
The Ugewe is the final ceremony of the series of festivals. It is one of peace and lightheartedness, following the more solemn of the ritual year. Ugewe is the festival of the Ewe leaves, a symbol of good luck and joy. It is the most popular of all that heralds the dawn of a Benin New Year, new vow, newness of life and freshness of life, and a new hope for the future. In the evening, the Ewe leaves are presented to the Oba of Benin in grand style in a colorful ceremony. The Ihogbe Society, amidst singing and dancing, bring the sacred leaves that symbolize good luck, blessings, peace, and prosperity. Each of the senior members of the Ihogbe proceeds to give the sacred leaves directly to the Oba of Benin, and others put theirs at his feet.
Osanoro Oba